Hey guys, Rowan here, and welcome to. Hang on. Sorry, that was just brighter than I thought it'd be, so. It's not that you guys will have an issue, it's that I will. There, that should work. And welcome to a video that will actually change the way you guys see Undertale. So, this is an Undertale theory video, but, well. I just thought of these facts last night. As of when I'm recording this. Who knows when I'm going to remember to put it up. Okay, that looks worse. There. Nothing changed. Anyways, back on track. So, you guys may think you know all of the people in Undertale who know about the resets. But, do you? Do you really? Right now, I'm going to list everyone who knows. Kara, Frisk, Flowey, Asriel, since he is Flowey, Papyrus, Asgore. I know that list isn't much bigger than the original list, but you still wouldn't have expected Papyrus or Asgore. And, well, you guys may be wondering how these two know, but, well, one of them is revealed to know from the Genocide run, and one is revealed to know during Asriel's fight. Most people do the pacifist run before Genocide. But we'll deal with Papyrus later. Instead, we're starting with Asgore. If you tell Asgore you refuse to fight him, he will have memories of you refusing. Well, recollection will flash in his eyes of you refusing to fight him. You don't refuse to fight him prior to Toriel saving you. You refuse to fight him during his fight. And then you have no choice but to fight him. But you see, that fight's existence was eradicated in the Undertale lore after you beat Omega Flowey. Because you pull up either the load you pull up your last save file, or if you're doing a run in Undertale in which you do not save, you pull up no save file, you start completely over. Rip for anyone who does that. At least I think that's what happens. I don't know, I don't have the game. But still, your fight with Asgore, its existence was eradicated, so very few people should remember. Those being Sans, Kara, Flowey, Frisk, and Asriel. Oh yeah, maybe Alphys knows. We'll get into why she's a maybe later. Oh, and definitely Gaster, though a lot of you still think he doesn't even exist. And that he's just a creepypasta for Undertale. For you guys, bruh. Clearly you haven't learned Undertale lore. He actually exists. So even though Asgore shouldn't remember, recollection flashes in his eyes of you refusing to fight him if you tell him you refuse to fight him during the fight with Azrael. Next up is Papyrus. Well, there's the fact that laughing away the pain is used all... Well, there's the fact that many characters in Undertale laugh away the pain. Kara, when they and Azrael accidentally poison Asgore. My Gospel, who is depressed but hides it. Kara, when there's the amalgamates. Azrael, before he turns back into a flower. Toriel, when she dies. Undyne, when she dies. I'm pretty sure Metaton does slightly chuckle in one of his deaths for the genocide route. Either full genocide or you missed one person in Hotland. I'm not sure which one, though. It also might be neither. Alphys, who acts all positive despite making the amalgamates, and literally saying in one of her journals that she thinks, well, that she sometimes thinks of ending it, and that she would have if it weren't for Undyne. Sans, in his death, Sans, regardless of what route you choose, neutral, pacifist, or genocide, Sans will make puns, laughing away the pain. Papyrus is the most happy character in Undertale. You may think this means he's unaware of the resets, but like I said, laughing away the pain is used way too commonly for him being happy, well, him being as happy as he is, to just be that. Now, of course, it could just be that, and I could just be speculating here. Yeah, this is merely one of the things that makes me think Papyrus knows about the resets. He's so happy because he prefers to act happy instead of reminiscing on the past. Next one comes from the genocide run. This is where the fact that most people do pacifist before genocide comes in. most people do pacifist before genocide. I mean, either way, you get the same dialogue from Papyrus, but still. Papyrus says he knows you can do better. You could just play that off as him saying anyone can be better if they just try. But that's false. And Papyrus isn't... He is actually one of the smartest characters in Undertale. If you need any proof of that, look at the Gauntlet of Deadly Terror. He set that up himself. Someone dumb could not make something that intricate. He is almost as smart, or as smart, as Sans and Alphys. Oh yeah, and real quick, before you come at me for saying Alphys when it's Alphys, there is no correct pronunciation for any of these names. Okay, except Sans. And Toriel. And Papyrus. Sans is very straightforward, just S-A-N-S, which is a type of font with numerous subfonts. Papyrus is a font, and Toriel is a play on the word tutorial. So that's how we know her name is Toriel. But yeah. Now back to the point. For Papyrus to have designed something that intricate, like I said, he'd have to be as smart as Sans and Alphys. In the first puzzle, the colored tiles puzzle, Papyrus makes an allusion to the fact that Alphys designed it. Meaning he gives credit to puzzles designers. And then there's the crossword. He gives credit to Sans. Everywhere else, he doesn't give credit. Papyrus may be self-obsessed, but he is honorable. He doesn't take credit for things he didn't do. There's also the maze puzzle. Electric maze puzzle at that. Someone dumb couldn't have made invisible electric walls. The only way someone would be capable of that is if they were an engineer. And instead of skulking and sleeping all the time, like Sans does, Papyrus distracts himself with other things. You can see that he always tries to make things more cheerful if things are sad. Via the dating scene. I went completely off topic because I said now we were going to analyze the genocide run, and then we kept analyzing the pacifist run. But yeah, there's that moment when Papyrus says that he doesn't like you like that. And instead of leaving you to feel sad, he tries to make you feel happy. He distracts himself with happiness instead of just reminiscing on the sad. Now we go to the genocide route. Like I said, Papyrus knows you can do better. Like I said, you may think that it's because anyone can do better, but not everyone can do better. Actually, numerous people who try to do better who either stay just as bad as they are or do worse. Yes?
Ready?
Hey guys, I'm back. Sorry. Had to go get my food. So, continuing what I was saying, Papyrus is smart. So he would know that not everyone can be a good person if they try. No, he knows from experience. If you put all the facts we learn about Papyrus together, we learn that he is smart and that he knows that the human can be a good person. Now, I don't care if you blame Kara or yourself for the genocide run. But, well, regardless of who you blame, he thinks that person can be a better person if they just try. No, not thinks, knows. From experience. Now, don't get me wrong, there are points in Undertale where Kara takes control. For instance, Asgore's death and most of Flowey's death. But keyword for Flowey, most. Kara hesitates to get the first strike on Flowey. You have to do it. Anyways, back to the topic. If it's Kara you blame, then he knows that Kara used to be a good human. And if that were the case, then, well, all my knowledge might be thrown down the drain. But I'm sorry to any of you who think Kara is to blame, but we actually have canonicity of people talking to player. Kara themselves talks to us. And if Kara talks to us, then they know we're here. So yeah. But you see, if Papyrus blames player, then he has had no prior experience. Unless he has. You see where I'm going with this? What was that? You guys saw something right about here, right? Just a white flash, then gone. Whatever. Might just be seeing things. Let me know if you saw it in the comments, please. If you blame the player, which is canon, again, sorry to those of you who blame Kara, but well, this is your own fault. Get it? Okay, back to the seriousness. Papyrus shouldn't know that you can be better because he wouldn't have had prior experience, like I said, unless he did. Since it's canon that player is responsible, not Kara, Papyrus knowing that player can be better is an odd choice if he didn't remember the resets. So, what if he did remember the resets? It makes sense. It fills in the gaps from the issue with him knowing you could be better. It explains why he's so happy when he's trapped underground, where even the happiest of monsters, like Monster Kid, are slightly sad that they do show occasional signs of sadness due to being trapped underground. It even explains how he knows Alphys. Sure, he and Alphys could have met through Undyne, but Alphys rarely leaves Hotland, and Undyne rarely enters Hotland. Undyne wouldn't have brought Papyrus there just to train. And since it's rare that Undyne and Alphys hang out due to neither of them going to the other's home areas often, Undyne would have postponed training with Papyrus. So, how does Papyrus know Alphys, and how does Alphys know Papyrus? Which then brings me... Oh yeah, and the reason we know it's not just Sans, Asgore, Flowey, Azzy, Frisk, and Kara that remember the resets is some of Sans' dialogue during his fight. We have been getting fluctuations in the time-space continuum. Not I. Of course, that could just be referencing him and Asgore, but that doesn't make sense. Seeing as he would have been reporting them to Asgore, meaning it would have been I. Oh yeah, and Gaster, but Gaster's lost in the void, so it couldn't be Sans and Gaster. What if it's Sans, Papyrus, and Alphys? Sure, that might bring the issue, but Papyrus says he didn't know Sans knew Alphys. This could have been effects from a reset caused by Flowey, where someone else said it, and then they all got suspicious. Because don't forget, you're not the first person to reset. Flowey is. So yeah, Papyrus could have said it before someone else could, and then they could have rehearsed that in a couple previous timelines so that, okay, this time I know that this one is caused by shadows. But the one that appeared here, I still don't know. Because my phone isn't even shining there. I have my phone's flashlight enabled. But anyways, they could have rehearsed that in a couple of timelines so that people wouldn't get suspicious. It's about saying don't forget Sans rarely ever leaves Snowden, but well. He has a post hot dog stand mix in Snowden. He has a post in Waterfall, and he has a hot dog stand in Hotland. However, they're all the same post. In case you haven't noticed, they're literally the same design. Guard posts usually have a slightly different design among each of them. Doggo's guard post has a back and walls instead of pillars and a full roof instead of just a roof over the stand. Sans's is different. Papyrus was allowed to craft his own, and it looks different from Sans's. Yet all three of Sans's posts look the same, because they're the same post. He can teleport, and he can teleport things with him. He does this due to the promise he made to Toriel. He told his promise to Papyrus and Alphys, and possibly Asgore. Just not getting into much detail about who he made the promise to when it comes to Asgore so as to not break his heart. It makes sense, you know. It also explains Sans's extreme strength. You may be thinking, Sans strength? Because of his 1 HP, 1 defense, and 1 attack. But think about this. What happens every time you sleep? Your HP increases above its max. Sans sleeps all the time. Why do you think Papyrus doesn't put a camera everywhere Sans is to make sure he doesn't sleep? Papyrus knows about Sans's low HP and knows about this little trick. Sans raises his own HP way above its max level. This actually explains the fact that we do 999999999999999 damage to Sans during his fight when he has 1 HP. He never gets hurt and is always sleeping, so sleep-wise, he's the strongest enemy. Health-wise, he's the strongest monster in Undertale. Base health-wise, weakest. And as for his attack, Karmic Retribution. It hurts more the higher your love is. Though it only starts working at love 19. Due to this, he doesn't fight you unless you have love 19. But what about Papyrus and Alphys? They don't show Karmic Retribution. I hear you typing already. They don't show it. Like I said, you said. Just because the monster doesn't show something doesn't mean they don't have it. Undyne has a lot of power. She doesn't show it unless it's the genocide run. Alphys has the amalgamates. She doesn't show them until she's forced to or convinced to, depending on the run. True Pacifist, convinced, neutral, she just straight up doesn't show. Genocide, she's forced to. Asgore doesn't want to harm humans. Doesn't show this till you beat him. Toriel doesn't want to harm any monsters, not even Flowey. She doesn't show this till the True Pacifist run right before Asriel's fight, when she refuses to harm him but defends you. I think that's enough examples. You're not love 19 when you face Papyrus. So you don't have... So he doesn't have the chance to use Karmic Retribution on you. And you don't even fight Alphys because she's evacuating everyone. She's too preoccupied with saving monster kind to be able to fight you. Sans, however, he lost his brother, so he can't protect him. There's literally there's literally like 29 people he can protect. Asgore, Alphys, and the monsters that were evacuated. I'm not counting Flowey because Sans wouldn't protect Flowey. If Sans would protect Flowey, it would be 30 monsters. Does that explain why I went with 29? Also, please note that is an estimate taken based on all the shopkeepers that are missing, all the NPCs that just stand around that are missing, and things like that. Sans keeps you there as long as he can. So that he could let everyone escape, but he knew he'd die eventually. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, hit that like button. Send it straight to hell. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. Hit that notification button so you know when I upload. I'll see you guys next time. Because I actually already have my next video planned for once. Bye!